I try not to decide whether or not a film or a book or a game or a zoetrope is going to be bad without experiencing it first, but there are just some things which you simply know are going to be terrible before you even experience it. I doubt anybody was surprised at how bad Man of the Hands of Fate was, and who expected anything from the sequel to the Mortal Kombat movie. I wish there was a name for them, but the only thing I can think of is an anagram, and tirequab, things you already know will be bad, doesn't have a good ring to it. But among these various tirequabs are Disney sequels. For those of you fortunate enough to not know the bad luck of Disney sequels, during the late 80s and early 90s, Disney started hammering out some of the most popular films in animation history, and indeed cinema history, a period known as the Disney Renaissance. The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, you know, those films. If you haven't seen or at least heard of any of the movies I've just mentioned, hello Queen Victoria, for you are the only one. Then in 1994, somebody had a very, very bad idea, which was to go to the head of Disney and say, well, gee, let's make a sequel to Aladdin because that was a popular film, so this one must be too, before nodding at his own ear. Actually, the reasoning wasn't that bad. After all, the first animated Disney sequel, the 1990 adventure The Rescuers Down Under, was an underappreciated block of solid gold, so a second Aladdin must follow the same trend, right? Wrong. Yeah, the result, Return of Jafar, was so bad it's now almost a joke in of itself, and not even Homer Simpson could save it. Thankfully, it didn't get a cinematic release, otherwise Disney would have lost all credibility it ever had and the film would have been a bigger killer than the Spanish flu. However, what it did do was sell, and it sold very well, surprisingly. So Disney kept pushing with the damn idea. The continued results were sequels, and to Disney credits, they did make some films that were actually quite good, such as The Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, in 1998. However, they were also sometimes disastrous, like Pocahontas 2, A Journey to a New World of the same year. Mostly, though, they were just bland, really, and this 2000 sequel of The Little Mermaid is certainly no different. Shall we find out why? The opening song, if it can be called that rather than matching music to pathetic acting, establishes that Ariel, her baby Melody, and Eric, who was in the last film, played by the world's blandest love interest, and is now the world's most insignificant character, are meeting up with Ariel's father Triton, and all the fish and mer people from miles around have gathered for a very important occasion. Triton giving her a necklace. Wow, I'm already glued to the screen. Then Ursula's crazy Finnish sister Morgana comes on to... Come on, seriously. You're not even trying to make a new villain? Sure, Aladdin's 3 villains sucked, but at least they were trying to make a new villain. Either bring Ursula back or make a whole new villain. Just don't throw a rip-off up like this. She even has the same near voice. Anyway, I digress. So Finn Ursula friends Triton with the death of Melody at the hands, Finn's, of her pet shark and apparently nightclub bouncer Undertone, who sounds more like Sebastian than Sebastian does in this film. However, this falls through, so Ursula McKeith runs away, threatening revenge on Melody. To protect her, Ariel says that Melody must not know anything about the fact that a magic green-skinned... Hang on, I'll start that sentence again. To protect her, Ariel says that Melody must not know anything about the fact that a magic-using green-skinned woman is trying to kill her. Sorry, I seem to be reviewing Sleepy Beauty by mistake. Cut to Melody's 12th birthday, where she lives in Gormangast as made by Playmobil. Nobody knows where Melody is, and the deprived. I'm a rebellious free spirit who's not satisfied with being royalty, and I'm going where I'm not allowed, scene that has to be in every children's film by law. Sebastian is being grouchy because he has to look over Melody by Triton's order and is too old for it. I must have a good memory, seeing as he's quoting what Triton said 12 years ago. Also, every other sea creature in the world is having pleasant chats with Melody and playing with her, including Sebastian. It must be reassuring that Ariel that her wish to keep Melody's identity and whereabouts completely safe have been completely ignored by the entire population of the planet. So Melody finds that weird necklace that Triton didn't ended up not giving her, and for reasons too stupid to imagine, which means that orders Skinny Latte's Ursula knows where she is and the plot just stops. For 10 whole minutes, nothing of any significance happens, pretty much matching the rest of the whole film, but seriously, nothing happens for, like, a quarter of an hour, maybe? There's pacing, there's character development, there's padding, and this film doesn't have any of that in this space. It's just nothing happens. Melody doesn't open the necklace, she doesn't ask any questions, she doesn't mention any kind of past thing. Nothing really changes. Even Sebastian gets discovered and it doesn't impact anything. It just causes Melody to step into a freakish dream where everybody's red and the can-can plays. This is the film being arty, you see. So Ariel finds a necklace and makes the biggest cock-up ever with trying to hide the fact that, well, she's hiding facts. Eric walks in, somehow knowing everything that has happened within the room that was on the other side of the castle to which he was in. I'll roll with it. And convinces Ariel to tell Melody the truth. Just as Melody leaves to discover the truth, somehow managing to decide what to do, steal the necklace from Ariel using the ancient magic of bad editing, get out the palace and find the boat within 15 seconds. Fast worker. So Undertone, now shrunk down by magic, tells Melody that Stick Ursula can tell her what's going on. Immediately, Melody believes the talking piranha, who knows who she is somehow and doesn't tell her who she is himself. And they both go to Superman's Fortress of Solitude to redo poor unfortunate souls from the original. Melody takes the fact that she's a mermaid rather well, to be honest. I'd, react. So Ariel decides that enough's enough and turns and becomes a mermaid so that she can find her daughter Melody, making the entire first film null and void. If Triton could make her a human before, why couldn't he have done it instead of Ursula? But I digress. Speaking of Ursula, Ursu Anorexia tells Melody to get Triton's trident. Melody agrees without asking for specifics, as, well, Melody's thick as a brick and has all the personality. Then we meet some penguins, who are being stupid. A particular one, Tip, and his seal friend Dash, are abandoned for trying to help and failing. These are quickly established as the Timon and Pumbaa of this feature, and say that they'll help Melody in her quest to steal from the king of all the sea. See, they're characterized as cowards, but for cowards, these guys are ballsy. So the trio of trollops gets to Atlantica. Stop laughing. And meet a love interest who appears for that moment and that moment early. Long story short, they get the trident and leave, though the necklace is dropped and blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah, we've all been here before. Ariel follows two stingrays to find Melody. Why? I don't know, but it really doesn't matter. It's never explained in the film, so I won't try to explain it here. So you'll end up at Castle Grayskull, and Ariel tries to stop Melody from giving the crazy geriatric Ursula the most powerful weapon on the face of the earth. So basically, Ariel tries to tell Melody that not Ursula is evil. Anything that any good look around would do, temple full of made of ice, desire to take over the world, often cackling, a black dress. I mean, I know that's kind of pushing it, but it is a Disney film. Everybody who wears black is evil. However, do you want to know what the worst thing about the situation is? Ariel fails. That's right. I'm not sure who the bigger idiot is. Melody for trusting the villain, or Ariel for seeming less honest. Your own mother, or an old woman who you barely know. It's a difficult choice, I know. So Ursula, played by Matchstick, sticks up top a pillar of ice and lets rip, because that's what you do once you get a super powerful trident. You know, you wouldn't do anything else, like, I don't know, get everybody to obey all your whims. Or, no, you just make a big pillar of ice and stand on top of it going, I won. Whatever. So then Eric, you remember Eric at the start of the film, arrives in a boat to prove completely useless, and he gets trapped in a fishbowl along with Flounder and Melody. It's such a bad rescue attempt that it's almost hilarious. And to rub it in even further, they get broken out by the idiot brigade that is Chip and Dash. So salad-eating Ursula now attacks Melody with ice blocks that will give her easy access to her, solely to be a level in a video game that will never be made. Trident gets the trident back again and freezes Ursula crushed between two bricks in a block of ice, and everything is hunky-dory except for the viewer who is vomiting due to all the cheese. End of film.